Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ADHD Power Tools. Today, I want to talk to you, Brooke, about 3 bad habits that ADHDers might have trouble overcoming. I want to start off today with the first bad habit, complaining. I want to ask you, talk to us a little about complaining and what are some tools you can give us to stop complaining?
Sure. So complaining can come from the emotional centers of our brain and having too much activity in the brain's limbic system. So when that happens, we can have a tendency to focus on the negative, and ultimately focusing on the negative will give us anxiety and can lead to depression. So no one likes a complainer. And sometimes we get to that point of complaining so much that it's part of our DNA and we totally forget that we are even complaining. So to break complaining, very often we need to seek out positive habits and positive situations to overcome it. So be proactive in reframing your thoughts. So complaining is an action and a behavior that comes from negative thinking. So when you have a negative thought, replace it with a positive thought from the situation. We've talked about that with CBT and reframing your thoughts. And then that will lead you to have, it doesn't change the circumstance, but it changes your thoughts, your actions, and your behaviors. Also, psychotherapy can very much help. Like I said, CBT, EMDR, art is a new one. And sometimes there's more deep-rooted reasons, that we've gotten to that point of complaining.
Mm-hmm. I really like the reminding yourself the positivity, grateful things aspect. Every morning, or even going before you go to sleep, remind yourself of 3 grateful things that you're grateful for, and surrounding yourself by that positivity. There's so many apps out there, Brooke, that you can go online and just punch in positivity, motivation quotes, and it gives you those push notifications every day of just a little some dose of positivity and motivation, just to remind you, reasons to be grateful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I remember when I was in elementary school, there was like this little thing our teacher did every day before class. She would go around the whole entire class, and everybody would have to say something that they're grateful for. I still remember to this day. And we'd go around class, and a lot of us kids, we didn't want to repeat the same thing someone else said. So we'd be kind of like, what else? What else are we grateful for? So someone would simply say, I'm grateful for this water bottle, or just something small in front of them. And it kind of reminds you of the smaller things, so the smaller things in life, those small things, whether it's a water bottle, or even just that $1 bill, or that little piece of candy, or the air conditioning, whatever it may be. It's super important to remind yourself of those little things, those smaller things in life, which will help you prevent complaining, having that positive mindset and outlook on it.
Yeah. So this actually reminds me, I've been watching I Am a Killer on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard of it.
It's about these guys who are on death row. A lot of them were just in the wrong place, the wrong time, not undermining what they've done, of course. But, they are going to be executed, or they're in jail for life. And the way that they look at things now are so different than feeling bad for themselves, for losing their life, or, being so restricted in jail. So I just think about that. If you can have someone who's at their last end, right, and they're going to be executed, and they can think positively before that happens, it's possible.
Yes, it is. And it's in us. It's in us, deeply rooted. It's in us, like you said, you reach that point where you get that positivity. It's 100% possible. But yeah, stay positive. I'm going to move on to the next bad habit, which is not exercising. Brooke, can you tell us a little bit about exercise?
Yeah.
Why it's important? And what
Exercise is so important for dopamine, for ADHDers, for serotonin. It's like a low dose SSRI, an antidepressant.
Yep.
And so many of us get into our flow state after exercising and just feeling better and more productive actually from exercising. So very often we'll skip a workout because it's not scheduled. So I have my workouts in my calendar as part of my day. Very often we'll skip a workout because we have that perfectionist quality, like, oh, it has to be 30 minutes of running or doing these exercises. And if I know I'm not going to finish it, so why should I even start? So that type of thinking, that all or nothing thinking, when really we can just take a step back and say, I'm just going to do something, and it could be 10 minutes, but I did something. And very often we continue to do more than that 10 minutes, but if we do 10 minutes, it's still better than nothing. And it gets us to be doing something rather than just pushing it off till the inevitable.
Yes, yes. I catch myself a lot in that situation, Brooke, where it's like, I don't have too much time to exercise. I'm not going to do my full workout of 15 minutes of rowing, then an upper body, full muscle, 4 to 5 exercises, then ended off with, abs or something like that. And I need to stretch at the end. And I'm like, how am I going to do all this? I don't have an hour. What do I do? What do I do? It's okay. Go there. Choose your favorite. What do you want to do that day? What are you in the mood for? Make it a fun experience. 15 minutes of rowing, that's what you get. You broke a sweat, and it's super, super important versus not. It's super much better versus not going to work out. And I think last week, for example, I was super, super slammed, and I didn't exercise as much as I wanted to. And I think a big piece was not putting exercise in my time slot.
Yep.
Like you said, I think you need to put that and make it a priority. It should be a priority no matter what. Obviously, it's okay if 1 week goes by and there's a lot, more important things. But regardless, you should work around that exercise schedule.
A meeting with yourself. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it becomes a habit. It really becomes a habit. And if you're really slammed, like we said, an hour can turn into 15 minutes of a workout. It's really that you can really make it work. And I think it's super important, that priority turns into a habit. Try to make it fun. If you really can't get up, if you do have the time, but you can't get up and go, try to make it fun. Listen to podcasts during it. Have a cup of coffee if you want to go before. Listen to music. Find a workout buddy. Accountability is always important. A workout buddy, exchanging different workouts, talking about that stuff.
And make it fun. We've spoken about making it fun. I mean, you get that positive dopamine from it being fun. So it doesn't have to be a grueling exercise that you don't enjoy. There's so many things out there.
Yep. Sports, 100%.
Exactly.
Fun. So I think working out, exercising, is just putting that in your time slot and tackling it, making it a priority. On to the next bad habit that we need to overcome is being late. I am a victim of being late too, as maybe many of us are. Brooke, can you talk to us about being late and how to overcome this bad habit?
Sure. So latenesses also are due to low activity in the prefrontal cortex, which ADHDers have struggle with. So being late can very often be because you don't want to be early to something. So it can also be because of the anxiety surrounding that. Don't want to be the first person to get somewhere. So I just want to recognize that. But also it could be because of your time blindness, thinking that you have so much time and you end up not really being productive with your time, kind of stalling a little bit, and then time passes by and now you're actually late when in fact you had all this time ahead of time to get to where you needed to go or to get to an appointment, whatever. Mm-hmm. So one thing that can help is to take advantage of technology, putting reminders in your phone, setting alerts. I also like having analog clocks around to just be aware of the time. If I don't see the time, then time can just slip away very quickly. I like having scheduled times before going somewhere to say, okay, and I don't do this all the time, but like, what do I need before I get there or I have to leave? What do I need to take? I also, as a woman, I have, and you can do this as a man or, whatever, you have like certain pre-made bags So I'll have my handbag, I'll have a bigger bag, and I'll just throw things in there that I know I need. And then if I'm running late to something, I have it, I could take it. It's in my closet, always on the same hook, and then I go.
Bring up, planning ahead of time what you need to take with you. By the way, Brooke, I love always how you bring up the science and anatomy aspect of all these bad habits, which is great. I think when I was younger, my mom always made me fold my clothes, prepare my clothes ahead of time, and everything I needed before I went to school the next day. And I find myself every time I do end up usually running late, it's because I can't find a piece of clothing. I can't find my wallet. I can't find my phone, or something's missing. Something's going wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot to shave, or whatever it may be. And you're like, oh goodness, I wish I did this the day before. And I think it's super important to plan things ahead. Just that planning is super important to stop being late. I also catch myself setting my clock a couple minutes later, so it just seems like I'm late, but I'm not really. So I get there on time, which is fun. But I kind of get used to that. But that's a cool little life hack you can look at. Just kind of playing with your clock, and so you can get to
Well,
places.
you can become really good at subtracting too.
Yeah, or exactly right.
Some comedian said that, and I thought it was hysterical. It's so true.
Right. So
I think it was like Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah. And if you're really good at subtracting, that might not work out for you. But I think getting places early is actually sometimes very important. Whether it's an interview or going to work, you might bump into a connection or someone.
It's also like, even if you are early, you can always sit in your car and have something to do when you get there too. So if you give yourself time for traffic or for things that are going to come up, if you do happen to get somewhere early, you don't have to sit around and wait at that place. You could give yourself little small to-dos that you can do in the car. We hope you liked today's video. If you want more information about ADHD, please feel free to visit our website at differentbrains.org or my website, coachingwithbrooke.com.
And if you enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe.